warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Ain Nazuha binti Abdul Razak, matric number 1812000.
Hi, my name is Ina Sukri binti Hisham and my matric number is 1918302.
My name is Nur Hila binti Muhammad Syukri and my matric number is 1919832.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Fikri Hafizi bin Yusri, 1911521.
My name is Safwan bin Ibrahim and my matric number is 1916834.
Okay, what is Six Thinking Hats? Six Thinking Hats is a good decision-making technique and method for group discussion and individual thinking, combined with the parallel thinking process. This technique helps group think more effectively. It is a means to organize thinking processes in a detailed and cohesive manner. Edward de Bono is the founder of these Six Thinking Hats and wrote a book about this called The Six Thinking Hats in 1985. He distinguishes six different frames of mind in which the brain can become sensitive. Each of these frames of mind has its own function. The six different frames of mind are identified in the shape of hat, and each of is different in color. So the colors are white, black, red, green, blue, and yellow. Three purposes of Six Thinking Hats are to encourage people to view a problem from different perspectives. Secondly, it is meant to organize thinking process in a detailed and well manner. Last but not least, it is meant to simplify thinking by allowing thinkers to deal with one thing at a time instead of having to take care of emotion, logic, information, hope, and creativity all at the same time. So today we are going to use the Six Thinking Hats technique on an issue of all IUM students should be allowed to bring bicycle or motorcycle only in order to solve the problem of not enough parking space on campus of IUM. Okay, let's get started. Okay, I will be the blue hat for today's discussion. The blue hat, the function of blue hat is to manage the thinking process, allowing for better synergy between the thought patterns and habits of the other thinking hats. So I will be the one who directed this discussion. Metaphorically, blue hat is just like a movie director. So without further ado, I will appoint white hat to give a view of this issue. Well, hello, I am white hat. So I will be introducing what is the function of white hat. A white hat is all about analytic thinking. You can say it is objective thinking with an emphasization of the facts and feasibility. So all in all, a white hat is all about facts. So based on this issue on insufficient parking spaces on IUM campus, there are a questionnaire done by Abdul Aziz Kadar Hamza in a research. About 389 questionnaires were collected from academic and administrative staff and 775 from students. However, this paper focuses only on the findings related to the traffic element from the analysis of the questionnaire. So the findings from the analysis of questionnaire, IUM community are unsatisfied with the problem of the insufficient parking spaces. And secondly, a very low percentage of students, about 1% of IUM students were found to use bicycle as a mode of transportation within Compusi. So the use of bicycle should be more frequently. So the solution given on this issue is supported. Thirdly, about 15% of students were driving their own car into the campus. This has generated a high parking demand in many kuliah. However, the parking supply is very much limited in the kuliah, which eventually allows students to park at the undesigned locations at the parking area. So this leads to traffic jam. The fourth, according to ranking 1970, the greatest contributor to the parking problem was the most definite still is the automobile. So the reduce of automobile, which is the suggestion that bicycle or motorcycle only should be allowed on campus, is the best solution on this issue, as the automobile or car is the most contributor of the parking problem in campus. Finally, this is the fact, the research done by me. This is research done by me on IIM students themselves through voting technique. Okay, from this, a sample of a population of IIM students. So, the result here is 80% of them agree that by reducing amount of cars in the campus, the insufficient parking problem will be solved. 4 out of 5 agree that this solution is the best solution.
Now I'm going to explain about the red hat. The red hat is an incredibly important because the red color stands for fire and emotions. So it is mainly concerned with feelings and emotion. With the red hats, people are given a chance to produce emotional ideas, present effective solutions based on personal feelings, gut reaction, hunch, and also intuition. For example, regarding to the issue that if all IIM students allowed to bring either motorcycle or bicycle in order to solve the problem of not having enough space parking in IIM campus, firstly, I am so worried because most of the students cannot arrange their time wisely. It is because the speed of motorcycle and bicycle are slower than a car. So it is took a long time to they reach to their class. Second, I'm so sad if all IIM students allowed to bring either motorcycle or bicycle in order to solve the problem of not having enough parking space in campus, because if this issue happen, I cannot go outside to the campus to buy our necessities, and we also cannot outing with our friends together during the weekend. The third point is, if all IIM students allowed to bring either motorcycle or bicycle in order to solve the problem of not having enough parking space in campus, I feel that most of the students will get more tired. Why? Because riding motorcycle and bicycle needs more energy. So if students feel tired, they will sleepy and not focus in classes, and lastly will affect to their study. The fourth point is, if all IIM students allowed to bring either motorcycle or bicycle in campus, they are very happy because they can save more money as a result of saving when using motorcycle and bicycle compared by driving a car. Last point is, I am so scared because the road beside the campus will be crowded with motorcycle and bicycle. So this will invite a lot of dangers such as accident and others, especially during during raining because the slippery road in the IIM campus. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi, I'm Iman and I'm representing the Yellow Hat. So as we know, Yellow Hat looks for values and possibilities of the idea. So here we are going to figure out what are the possibilities and benefits we could gain if the students are only allowed to bring motorcycle and bicycle to the university. Firstly, it allows more parking space, whether it is for the students and other IIUM community who use cars. This is because motorcycle and bicycle need less space than cars and vans. Plus, bicycle can park at a no parking space like a pathway in a faculty. Secondly, reduce the congestion of traffic. The less the number of cars on the road, the less the congestion. Motorcycle and bicycle are not necessarily need to use the main road because they can use the pathway in the university complex if they could, particularly for bicycle. Third, this rule will also improve students' productivity. Why would this rule improve students' productivity? Okay, the reason is students can still manage to attend the classes even though problem happens. What problem? Such as they overslept or they have a far class before. Next, if only motorcycles and bicycles are allowed for students to ride and own in the university, it allows students to gain side income. For the students with motorcycle who needs to earn more money to ease their study journey, they could be a part-time rider for motorcycle courier service during weekend. What are the examples? For examples, they be a part-time rider for Food Panda, or maybe for Lalamove or Mr. Speedy. They are also able to offer a courier service inside the university. For instance, as a personal shopper for the students who are unable to go outside to buy their personal stuff, such as hangers or tissues. Lastly, generally, this rule will ease all the IIUM community, even for the outsiders like the courier service from outside, the parents, and also the visitors. On behalf of the students, they can still move easily inside the campus because they own a transport. Meanwhile, it is less pressure on behalf of the others who are allowed to ride the cars, such as the lecturers, because this could reduce problems related to parking space and traffic inside the university, which is one of the main problems related to transportation in IIUM.
So my job as the black hat, I will look into the idea in a negative perspective to identify the flaw and the weaknesses that the idea originally suggested. So for our discussion today, we will talk about is it okay for IIUM students to only be allowed to bring their motorcycles or bicycles. So for my first point is, if we want to compare a motorcycle or a bicycle with a car is a more productive vehicle that can carry 5 or even more person in one vehicle, rather than motorcycles or bicycles that can only carry 2 person. So we don't want to feel bad if you have more friends. Maybe like we have 5 people in a group and only 2 people that can go to various places such as classes and lectures with their motorcycles, and the rest of them must have to walk or find another solution to get to the class. So the next thing is, motorcycles or bicycles don't have many space to carry many items or large items. To elaborate more, for instance, if we want to go shopping and we have many things that we bought, so when we want to carry it back to our campus, we will find difficulties to put them somewhere. So because of that, if we have a car, we have the bonnet, the back at the back of the car to put our things or maybe if we have only 2% that go to the shopping mall, and when we came back home, we have the back seater to fill with the thing that we buy. So the third point is motorcyclists or the people who rode bicycles, they are more likely to involve in any accident, which is 35 times more than the people that rode a car. So because of that, we want to keep the safety of the IM students or whoever that using motorcycles and bicycles in the campus, so that will be occurrence or for injured accidents and many more. And the last point is about the weather. So we know that the car have a rooftop, so in weather such as a very hot day or a rainy day, that we can shelter ourselves in the car, and we will have no problem to go to our destination worrying about the weather that is occur in that time. But to compare to riding a motorcycle or a bicycle, we have difficulties, especially in rainy days, because we don't want for our belongings to get wet, especially our electronic gadgets such as our smartphone and our laptops, which is can be expensive for us to buy a new one. So if you want to secure our belongings, it is better for us to have a car.
So guys, I'm agree with the statement that all IIM students should bring only motorcycle or bicycle to the university in order to cope with the parking space problem. But the problem is, how I am going to implement this rule in a creative and effective way. So I will share with you guys 5 suggested points using my green hat. For the first one is, IIM should provide a rent service for bicycle or motorcycle for one whole semester every year, where it is compulsory for them to have 2 person per vehicle to limit the total number of these vehicles in the university. The second one is, we should rebuild or remark all the car parking spaces that are provided for students to the bicycle and motorcycles parking spaces, and limit the current car parking spaces only for lecturers and staff. So the student will have no choice and will not bring their car to the university. So for the next step is the invention or the usage of a bicycle that can be folded into smaller size, so that the number of parking spaces that have been used will be reduced, as they can bring the folded bicycle into the class. So we move to the next step or the next suggestion. We can attach a sensor to all of the bicycles and motorcycles to track whether they park the vehicles at the right place or not. And the sensor can be useful when they do not park their vehicles at the right place. The sensor will ring and make a noisy sound, so that they can alert and park their vehicles at the right place. And for the last point is that I want to suggest here is to place a robot around the parking spaces in the university. So the robot will patrol the area and make sure that every student follow the rules and park at the parking spaces that have been given to them. So these are 5 suggestions that I can give using my green hat and thank you for listening.
Through this meeting session, we can conclude that bicycle or motorcycle only should be allowed on campus is the best solution for the problem of not having enough parking space in IUM campus. This is due to the fact that most of the points given in the meeting supported this solution, even though this solution have few drawbacks, but this is the best solution as will benefit everyone. So that's all for this meeting. Assalamualaikum. Thank you for listening.